All right, guys, so this is a crazy story that's not getting nearly enough attention. Let me walk you through it here. Jeremy Scahill says the following, he's citing Politico. There's a furious debate in D.C. over what to make of HTS in Syria. That's the rebel group that overthrew Assad. The story quotes a U.S. official addressing the group's official designation as a terrorist organization. Quote, there is a huge scramble to see if and how and when we can delist HTS. So here's what they say in Politico. But HTS, led by Abu Muhammad al-Ghalani, is also a U.S. designated terror organization. Al-Ghalani was linked with Al-Qaedá for years, but cut ties with Al-Qaedá and denounced the group in 2016. Since then, he's been on a campaign to rebrand himself and HTS, the umbrella organization of formerly fractured militant groups, as a moderate force to oppose Assad. There's a furious debate playing out in Washington over what to make of HTS, according to 4 current and former U.S. officials familiar with the discussions, all of whom were granted anonymity to discuss internal policy deliberations. There's a huge scramble to see if and how and when we can delist HTS, said one of the current officials. So in other words, they are planning on taking this group and this individual off the terror list. Mind you, in 2018, they put him on the terror list and they said $10 million if you tell us his whereabouts. $10 million. Or if you get him, $10 million. $10 million. We went from a bounty of $10 million on Homie's head and putting his group on the terror list in 2018 to, you know what? Maybe we'll take this Al-Qaeda affiliate off because he said some decent things, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Imagine I was reading this story to you in the year, let's say 2003. Right on the heels of 9/11, when Al-Qaeda flew planes into the towers and the towers collapsed and they were public enemy number one, and Osama bin Laden was public enemy number one. And what if I told you in the near future, the U.S. would scramble to take an Al-Qaeda affiliate off the terror watch list? How would you react? I think you would probably say, that is absolutely disgusting and infuriating, and it besmirches the name of every single victim of the 9/11 terror attacks. I bet that's what you'd say. And guess what? You'd be right. So you'd probably think, well, why? Why would they do this? This makes no sense. Why would they do this? The answer is very simple, guys. The answer is very simple. Assad was the head of the government in Syria. Okay? Assad is a Shia Alawite. He was aligned with Iran and Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Shia Crescent, as they call it, right? They are geopolitical foes to the U.S. and also aligned with Russia, I should say, too. One of our biggest foes, right? And so we would rather get rid of somebody who's an ally to our enemies and deal with whatever comes next than deal with what was there before. And so in other words, hey, look, if the best we can do is a former Al-Qaeda guy leading what was the state of Syria, well, I guess it is what it is, and we'll try to work with it, and we'll try to figure out. So in other words, what matters is geopolitics. What matters is power. What matters is the global chessboard. And we don't care about the details. We don't care about the specifics. And by the way, if you think, well, it's okay, we'll be able to control them. Really? How'd that work with Osama bin Laden and the Mujahideen when we armed them and funded them when they were fighting the Soviet Union? And Western press was writing fucking puff pieces about him saying, oh, he's a revolutionary, he's a freedom fighter, he's an independence fighter, etc. How'd that work out? Oh, that's right. Those guns were eventually turned on us. No fucking shit. When you get in bed with radical jihadists, turns out they like jihad. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing? So, that just goes to show. I said it before. How would I describe our foreign policy? Paranoid schizophrenic imperialism is how I would describe it. That's the best description for it. I mean, we've covered the stories in the past. You had General Petraeus saying, let's arm Al-Qaeda so that Al-Qaeda fights ISIS. That was not that long ago that he said that. That was his brilliant idea. We also have, in Syria, we had Pentagon-funded rebels fighting CIA-funded rebels. So arming both sides. As Assad was falling, the U.S. conducted 75 strikes against ISIS strongholds. So that is, okay, we're against the government, we're against Assad and his government, but we're also against his enemies in ISIS who are also going to bomb as he's falling. So like, we're so happy he fell, but also we're going to bomb his enemies because some of his enemies are a little too much. But Al-Qaeda might be okay, the Al-Qaeda affiliates, but the ISIS ones, maybe that's a little too far. You want to talk about playing with fire? This is beyond absurd. This is beyond absurd. And then, of course, I haven't even mentioned yet, Israel currently taking more Syrian territory, bombing Damascus, bombing like weapons depots in the area, right? I mean, this is hell on earth. You try making sense of what's going on here. But can you imagine being a family member of a victim of 9/11 and they are rushing to take this Al-Qaeda affiliate off the terror watch list? All because, hey, our other enemy, Assad, is gone now. So I guess whatever comes next is better. Maybe we can work with them. Maybe we can make them even more moderate. Because, we have such a great track record of the governments that we ally ourselves with. They always start abiding by human rights, right? Like Israel. They're not doing a genocide and ethnic cleansing and committing war crimes on a daily basis. Like Saudi Arabia. They weren't doing a genocide against the people in Yemen not that long ago. Like the 73% of the world's dictatorships that we arm and fund. We got them real fucking locked up, and they're certainly abiding by human rights and justice. Like, Jesus Christ. Is this what people want, man? Is this what the government should be doing right now? Instead of trying to give you health care, instead of trying to raise your pay, it's, hey, what do you guys want to do today? I don't know. Let's try to take this Al-Qaeda group off the terror list. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And you wonder why people are furious and we're in an era of populist rage. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.